I'm going to go through what happened in court today, but first I have to tell you, I made a mistake. Yesterday I said that Michelle put that FedEx envelope in the sewer, and that's incorrect. It was Fotis. And that means that everything I said based on that mistake is also erroneous. So I apologize for that. I still want to know, what the heck was Michelle doing with that grate? Let me know in the comments what you think she's doing. Today, first we heard from Sergeant Duggan of Major Crime. He responded to Albany Avenue to check the trash. They seized all the trash. He had to climb into the dumpster to search. He spoke to someone, and the information he received motivated him to search another trash can nearby, and they seized an entire trash can in addition to the contents. In this case, the police dumped the trash into a single bag. So when they were looking at all these trash cans, if the trash inside was already contained in a bag, then they just took the whole bag. But if it was all loose and there was no bag in the trash can, they dumped it into a police bag. So this is the can after they dumped the contents. They emptied the trash onto brown paper. They used the paper partly to make sure that they don't lose any evidence, some hair or fiber, and it also helps prevent contamination. Yeah, I know we're dealing with garbage, but that's how it goes. Notice here the t-shirt in the top left. He described the stains on the t-shirt as blood-like. Now for the trash can closest to the building. This bag is contained in the original bag. They spread it out. The next trash seizure is here. Remember that picture? As the prosecution is trying to get all these photos admitted, the defense was questioning almost everyone. In one case, the defense says that one of the photos doesn't represent everything. But then when he was questioning the witness, the defense ended up backing off. Here are the photos. There's the can, the contents before they emptied it. In this photo of the empty can, the prosecution pointed to the bottom left of the inside of the can and asked if the police seized that. Duggan said he didn't recall. Here are the contents. So this is labeled Albany and Blue Hills. Then he went to this intersection on Albany. Look at the upper middle inside the can, the whitish strip. Duggan testified it was a zip tie. Now look at the bottom center left. Duggan testified that at first he thought it was a clear plastic bag, but it turned out to be a clear poncho with a blood-like substance on it. And the red object next to it is a bent mop or broom handle, which also had a blood-like substance on it. Here are the contents spread out. This one's interesting. You see the zip ties and the poncho. This bag was in the trash can. Police opened it and found a long sleeve shirt and a bra.
The long sleeve shirt is cut. It's a Vineyard Vines shirt, and it is covered in a blood-like substance along with the bra.
And was the bra cut as well?
Yes.
And covered in the blood-like substance?
Yes.
Notice the knots in the bag. And the mop is in this picture. They talked about the mop. The mop handle. Duggan identified this item on the right here as a razor blade. And the prosecutor took the poncho out of the bag, and Duggan identified it as what was a clear poncho. So the reason it's gray is because of the processing. The moment in the next clip would, in my opinion, be dramatic for the jury. It's one thing to see photographs, different to see the item.
Poncho that I'm holding. Up here on, I don't know if you can see it, sir, but on the top it looks like there are cuts.
Yes.
Was that in that condition when you seized it that day?
Yes.
Okay, and there are, I guess, numerous markings and things on this. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay. Do you know if this went to the lab at all?
I do know it went to the lab.
Okay. And did they take action on it?
They did.
Going to ask you actually to just take a look at the top, the ends edging on here. You see this red like markings?
I do.
On the edge? Did that look like that photograph all over this poncho when you picked it up that day?
Yes,
And you indicated with respect to the stuff on the bottom of the photograph up there that it was from this item.
yes.
Do you know which part it was from?
No, when we took it out, a lot of it was wet, so it was just leaking everywhere.
Now you're going to see another one. This is not the same exhibit. It's different.
Do you recognize this item?
I do.
What is this item?
That's Exhibit 502B, which was a clear plastic bag with blood-like substance, later identified as a poncho.
Now, there's a lot of, I guess, grayness on this.
Yes,
Do you know what that is?
I do.
What is it?
It's a fingerprint powder.
Do you know if this item later went to the lab?
Yes, it did go to the lab.
I'm going to actually draw your attention over here to the, I guess, left side. Do you recognize what's depicted on the left side of this item?
I do.
What's depicted on the left side of this item?
It's a blood-like substance.
Is that in the same condition as the day you seized it on May 30th, 2019?
Yes,
Now, you indicated the other poncho was wet in some parts.
yes.
Was this one?
I don't recall.
If you could take a look at the screen as well as on the upper right, what is depicted on that photograph?
That's remnants from the bag transferred onto the brown paper.
Two ponchos. Two perpetrators? Or one perpetrator wearing two ponchos? And if Jennifer's clothes were discarded, that's an indication that it's not likely that she was buried or dumped in one piece. This is the sponge they found in the same trash. There was debris, leaf-like material attached to the sponge. A glove in the same trash. It's crystal clear that this homicide was premeditated. If all of these items are, in fact, connected to this homicide. If not, well, there was some other horrible crime that happened. And then a pair of gloves, also with blood on them. Two perpetrators or coincidence? Somebody throwing away all those bloody gloves. A black bag from the same trash with a blood-like substance on the bag. Here it is again so you can see it in scale. They found a set of keys. They found a set of keys in the same trash. The defense objected to this and said it was irrelevant because Duggan himself did not personally try to fit the keys into anything. The judge sustained the objection. There was a blood-like substance on the zip ties. Given the objection over the keys and relevance, the prosecution tried to head that off and asked Duggan if he felt the zip ties were relevant. The defense objected because she used the word felt. The prosecutor brought out the fact that some of the ties had been cut, meaning some had been used, while others were not cut. In the same trash, they found a white bath towel covered in a blood-like substance. Here she is holding it up so you can see the size of it. There was blood on the mop handle. They seized trash bags that were knotted in the middle, and they found these knots unusual. Knots, whether it's in rope or any other item, can be used to tie evidence to a particular perpetrator and also to tie evidence between one scene and another. The defense wanted to make sure that he didn't inadvertently agree to everything being admitted if there might be something else in this one big evidence bag that maybe he didn't know about it. So the prosecutor gave him some gloves so he could look through it himself. This apparently unused bag was seized. Paper towel again with blood-like substance on it. They also found a bag containing leaves and sticks, and they thought that was out of place. It was sent to an agriculture lab. That's going to be interesting. Do you remember all the plant material in Jennifer Dulos' garage? 2 pieces of white cloth with blood on them. Look, if you found a couple of paper towels or a couple of cloths or even a shirt with blood on it in the trash, you could argue, somebody cut themselves, or, this is just coincidence. You can find lots of explanations for that. But this amount, this number of items, and this amount of blood, this is not something you can easily explain away. And if somebody else put all that stuff in all those trash cans, well, then Fotis and Michelle have got to be the unluckiest people in Connecticut. They also see some smaller bags, and the prosecution turned attention back to the blade. There was a blood-like substance on it. The blade was broken, and there were hair or fibers on it. They found a screwdriver with the blood-like substance on it, and where the blood was the shaft and the bra. This came from one of the knotted bags. Look, it has clearly been cut up the front. The shirt found with it, also with blood on it. The defense objected and ended up being overruled. There's a hole in the shirt. See that? On cross, the defense points out that the garbage was all mixed together. The defense asked if the police looked at all of the items of trash they retrieved. I don't know if he was expecting the officer to say no, but the answer was yeah, we did. The rest of the cross-examination was starting to become like reiterating what the prosecution said, and that's not something the defense wants to do, so it ended up being short. The next witness is Krista O'Reilly. She's a crime analyst. She requested video from a city bus. Based on that, she was able to put together a map. Here's the video from the bus.
And is that the bus video that you watched that day?
Yes.
At what point on Albany Ave does it pick up the Ford Raptor?
The Ford Raptor was stopped at Albany and Cabot.
And was there any, well, if I can, I'm just gonna hit play.
On cross-examination, the defense brings out that in this picture, there's a logo on the back of Fotis's t-shirt. But in this still from the bus video, there's no logo on the back of that person's shirt. And the defense also suggests that there's something on the back of the truck, but the witness thinks it's a reflection. In the end, they can't really determine what it is or isn't. He does get the witness to say, you can't determine the 2 shirts are the same or not the same. The prosecution got up, and one of the things that she asked is if the person in the image from the bus video was missing an arm. And the answer was, I don't know. Despite the objections of the defense, the prosecutor managed to make the point that due to the speed of the bus, you don't get a clear image. Steve Soares obtained video from a quick stop here on the evening of May 24th.
Is this the video that you watched and obtained from Route 4 Quick Stop?
Yes, it is. And that was the vehicle that just went by.
Okay. And what time did that vehicle go by at?
1913 or 713.
Is that the vehicle that you
Correct.
stated was evidentiary value?
Correct. Yep, the top of the screen, traveling from right to left, black pickup truck.
The detective went to Crown Market and West Hartford, and you see they're all over the map.
This is the Crown Market on your right-hand side. Starbucks would be to your left, and that's the parking lot that you come in and out of. And that's the street you can see traffic is Albany Avenue. It's 1927, so 727 real time. You can see it just drive by pretty quickly at the top of the screen there on the road. Right there.
They showed 2 more similar videos, more videos from other areas, but look, they were all over the place. On cross-examination, the defense asked if there were any other potential vehicles of evidentiary interest. The answer was no. The defense showed an earlier exhibit and compared it with this witness's exhibits and points out the times, showing a 4-minute lapse between the Raptor exiting one area and being seen in another. He also points out that the raptor was seen pulling into Crown Market parking lot, but then the view was obstructed by a truck. And just an aside here, there is no video of the raptor parking. It was in motion when that view was obstructed. The defense points out that there was a Starbucks there. My guess with all of this is he's going to suggest that Fotis and Michelle were out running errands. And that's why you're seeing the truck all over the place. Except none of that's on camera. The only time you see the raptor stop is at intersections and to dispose of trash bags and something that the defense says is not a mat. And maybe Fotis and Michelle went into Starbucks and only took a couple of minutes. So what? I mean, if that was the errand, if they were going out for coffee, that is one heck of a circuitous route to take to go get coffee. Then we heard from Detective Jesus, major crime, and he obtained he went and looked at cameras covering Farmington Avenue. Chris Meyer, major crime, he went to a Shell in Bishop's Corner in West Hartford. There were 2 cameras there of interest. He sat in the gas station for 2 hours reviewing the video. He saw the raptor twice, once at 7:26 p.m. and 8:03 p.m. He showed some video. Again, the raptor was in motion. The defense points out that this is a major thoroughfare, and that's a fair point. It doesn't explain why they were going back and forth, but okay. The defense again asked about timestamps and distances. It sounds like he's building to use this stuff later. For me, the big thing was 2 ponchos and 3 gloves. And that bra that was cut in the knotted bag. That's all I got for you for now. Trust your gut. I'll see you in the comments.